Alright folks, we are in game number 2. Still here in the winner's bracket for the Dreamhack ROCCAT Legacy of the Void Championship. Spawning here in the bottom right corner of the map, he's currently trailing in the series. It's going to be the light blue Protoss KiFirE.
The top left has the green Protoss. It's HuK.
So questions about the carrier build time in chat. Let's answer this as quick as we can. First off, HuK. Not carrying at all, and for good reason. Carriers in general, I don't think have a great place in PvP, but carriers were, up until yesterday, only had a 90-second build time in Legacy of the Void. The buff and nerf or whatever we were talking about is it takes 120 seconds now, so it's definitely a build time nerf, not a buff. I guess you could argue they were buffed before and then reset, however you want to look at that.
Well, proxy pylon coming down for KiFirE. It's usually for Stargate, and he's making a lot of gas. Would be easily scouted had HuK sent out a probe. There he goes now.
It's kind of funny too, because HuK's not really a fan of scouting, so he's actually going to send the probe out. That's just to expand.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost a why not, but you're right. HuK does still, get that little bit of greed from keeping the probe at home in a few frustrating games. But this is gonna. This is gonna see how much gas was taken,
yeah,
and the later Nexus, and kind of that's gonna alert him to something.
I was gonna say really quick, my favorite instance of learning, like really just having ingrained that HuK doesn't scout, was him versus Crank at 32 Boys 1 Cup. That was was quite the treat.
It's gonna be pretty famous.
Infamous.
Yes, that one. KiFirE this time going for the Dark Shrine. That's what the proxy was for, to hide that thing. I mean, it's kind of like, I kind of like the version that keeps its Twilight Council at home. So if the probe scouts it, you can just be like, oh, I was going for Blink. You don't even know. But now, HuK's going to get almost a... Did he even get his probe in there? Maybe not. Well, should like a Mothership Core go in there, or the probe, or an Adept go into KiFirE's base? It might be a little obvious, with the lack of tech in there.
Scouting did only see the natural base.
Yeah, so lucky for KiFirE. He's actually gonna have a pretty good build here. HuK doesn't have a robo.
I don't actually know the new timings of it because I haven't played a lot of Protoss, if we're gonna be honest. But one of the things is back in Heart of the Swarm, you would know like, okay, it's 5 minutes in the game, time to start looking for a shimmer or hold position of units on my ramp. If two adepts are just chilling here like this, it won't matter that he doesn't scout this. They will block out the DT. And the thing about HuK that he's really good at is his reaction time. So even if he doesn't see this coming, reacting to it, I don't think it'll be too difficult for him. I mean, there's already a robo on the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the important thing. Like the robo, if there's 3 DTs warped in, surrounded, it can still die for an observer. But if the adepts are alerting him to it, buying us a little bit extra time, and no one really warps in 3 adepts at a time anymore either, then everything should be peachy.
So it's worth noting, by the way, the other part of the bracket has caught up in advance. Semper, who wants cats, and it'll be Semper versus either HuK or KiFirE in the grand finals of the winner's bracket.
Mm-hmm. Which, that winner is through.
Yeah, that's the qualifying round after this one. So we'll be following the winner of this series. I mean, it's the TVP no matter what guaranteed. It's just which Protoss goes through. So yeah, top of the winners, top of the losers, guys. 2 spots here for the Americas qualifiers.
Well, the TTs are warped in, but the most they can really do is get a couple of probes of the natural before the observer will get chronoed out. And now it's an immortal.
Even then, still, it's going to be the observer up next as soon as he hears that swipe. There we go. So he can kind of body block and be annoying. There's a lot of ways to deny this DT. A force field could go down as well. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
HuK is very adept at dealing with DTs.
Good one. Chrono wasn't on the observer, so probably could have been out by now, but did not take that much damage. The Nexus is going to get some hull damage, no big deal. Were the DTs worth it? I would say they were okay, actually, because Dark Shrine was reduced in cost a while ago, but it's the fact that it was also proxied that makes it, I think, not worth it.
The proxy is definitely questionable if HuK cleans that up, but I do think one of the big things is it does risk. It's a gamble, and it was one that could have won the game if HuK was playing more greedy.
Yeah. But looks like HuK was gonna try and counter, but maybe not. No, he is gonna go for the attack. Of course, with as many photon overcharges as they are available, if you have pylons on the low ground, the burst damage usually scares this type of attack away. Archon being morphed in. Oh, go straight for that mothership core. Whoa. Gets
Smart
it.
move. Yeah, his 2 pylons getting run out of proton overcharge pretty quickly, and then he's got no problem pushing forward. Archon dealing a ton of damage to the Adepts, actually, surprisingly so, and the Immortal just hammering on the Stalkers, but it is a pretty funny mirror matchup. Defender's advantage obviously going to go to KiFirE since HuK has no reinforcement point over here.
Yeah, I mean, that was going to always make this attack kind of just a poke without a warp prism or proxy pylon. Unfortunately for HuK, he doesn't know that the stuff was proxied, so he doesn't know to look for a proxy. Otherwise, that would be a free tech snipe for him. And just, you know, you always want to get rid of that Dark Shrine, just so you don't have a headache later on.
Sounded good. My brain is not thinking of words.
Yeah, I'm really starting to feel it. You know, it's okay.
mean, I'm kind of... we haven't done a big cast like this in a while. We've just been casting lots of little things. This is like 2, 3 sort of really big things.
Yeah, and even then, like, Dreamhack casts in the past are only usually like 6 hours.
Yeah.
We're doing 2 of them, so...
It's okay. We got this. We're so close.
Yeah, maybe. You say that because it looks like you're getting close to the end, and then it takes forever for the last 4 games.
Think about it, like, you know, HuK will 2-0 here, and then he'll roll over Semper because it's PvT and Protoss is imbalanced, and then we just have to follow the losers. Okay.
That's still at least 4 games, which could be 4 hours.
Shit.
Like, that's when you really think about it, and you're like, oh, okay.
I'm trying not to think about it, alright? I ain't.
Alright, we gotta get up to tomorrow morning and do the same thing. All over again.
3 a.m. hype?
Maybe. Did they change it for every single qualifier?
I hope so.
Let me check.
I would actually be okay if it was 1 a.m. a lot more than 3 a.m. To be honest. Ugh.
Yeah, going back to the very first thing we talked about today, I think that time was worse for you this morning. Ugh.
Yep.
It does seem to be changed. Still 6 a.m. for tomorrow.
Oh, well.
And the one after that? Wait a minute. Oh, they probably just double. Yeah, that's right.
My plan is I'm going to order some Chinese foods, and then I'll leave the leftovers in my fridge, so if the same thing happens again, I'll at least have food access.
But, I mean, cold Chinese? Actually, sometimes cold Chinese could be okay.
Yo, cold chicken chow mein.
Yeah, right.
Beans are pretty good cold, too. I like them better than warm. Although, I will love some cold pizza. But I'm
yeah, exactly.
Sure,
pizza cold. It's amazing.
Pretty sure if I eat pizza, my diet's going right out the window.
You don't think that's happening with eating chow mein?
So with Chinese food, I could at least argue there's some vegetables in there. Like pizza, I'm like, this is just pepperoni and cheese.
But
there's
vegetable
nothing
is
good about
pizza.
Because
I
tomato
mean,
sauce.
pizza is a vegetable.
Tomato sauce. Wow, you worked really good too. I see.
Whatever.
Alright, HuK went for disruptors while this is going on. We start getting goofy. He's also got an upgrade lead. Not a discernible one, but an upgrade lead nonetheless. But his Warp Prism in the main catches him a little off guard, so the Robo's going to go down. There's no more disruptors for him. But I don't know that he necessarily needs them. Third base under attack, though, for both players.
Hey!
Downside to disruptors is they can't attack the buildings so good. They can attack the units really good. Not the buildings.
They will. So it's a base trade. Ah!
Oh, focuses it down. Yeah, so it doesn't get the shot off either. Ooh, this is getting a little bit scary for HuK. He's going to start throwing down lots of cannons, using all the money he can to buy time at home. He is going to come back home. He doesn't have the mothership core, so no recalls currently available. Both players taking out the thirds take out a lot of economy from one another. That's Disruptors misrallied, and that's a very expensive misrally. Just popping off all the pylons because I think he knows he's going to run out of health on that mothership core. So yeah, last pylon gets overcharged twice, I guess. Disruptors coming from behind, they're going to catch some of the units. Immortals barriers to keep them alive, but a couple of the stalkers do go down. And I think HuK's army actually might be big enough. He cancels the warp. We can't get the recall, can't cancel the recall. And now HuK's in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, 2 Nexus for 1, but he does have more disruptors, so he could win the fight.
If it's a head-on engagement, but that's questionable.
Oh, he's getting all disjointed. Why? No! AI!
AI
no!
hype?
Ah! No!
It's whether you can force whether run through force wells,
okay.
but oh, disruptors for the disruptors lands on top of his opponent's disruptors. I'm gonna back away, wasting KiFirE shots. Bit of a chess game at this point. Gonna focus down that mothership core. No more recalls, no more proton overcharges.
That was really nice. Disruptor is focus fired, but at the cost of a lot of Blink Stalkers.
Yeah, he waited till KiFirE blinked. HuK was waiting for that moment. I was like, this is my time to shine. Unit count still going to go in the favor of HuK here, albeit just barely, but those Immortals are so good. How are we going to focus fire them down? Barrier goes up, coming off cooldown just the right moments.
This is pretty dicey. I mean, their army supply is pretty equal.
HuK's got upgrades.
The worker supply is equal.
Those level 2 weapon upgrades are actually going to be huge for these Stalkers and Stalker on Stalker battles, though. Obviously, the Disruptor is going to destroy no matter what, but it's a question of what's left after the shot's over.
HuK replanted is natural. KiFirE obviously gets his third denied again, so it's sort of back to even on the mining front, too.
Yeah, it's like one base economy, one base economy. I guess the DTs are the one advantage. Not only can they do some sneak attack damage potentially, the Warp Prism up here as well, but it's the Archon potential as well. Ooh, gonna have to cancel this right away. DTs will kill it. HuK doesn't cancel it, and he can't really afford 400 minerals at this stage of the game. Oh gosh. Taking a lot of losses.
Alright, so everything really has equalized. We do have the Warp Prism.
Did that guy really say that? What the fuck?
I know, right?
Raptor Drew. Raptor Drew, I'm just disappointed, man. You're a Twitch Turbo user. I would assume you know better.
Oh my god. You pay to use this service. Anyways. So the warp in / snipe third combo, which worked out last time for KiFirE, is happening again.
And denies the warp ins out of HuK. So defensively losing that third base once again in trouble. And KiFirE is really taking control of this game. The really nice thing too is he caught up in upgrades. So no longer going to be behind in that regard. Unit counting station, let's see what are we at here. Almost even in a lot of regards, actually.
This game is even in a lot of regards. HuK does need to cancel his opponents. Oh, and blink! Whew, poor Depth.
Okay, well, here comes the counter disruptors. They take out one of the disruptors, actually.
Ooh!
Down the second one. Good force fields will lock down those disruptor kills.
That was smooth.
Alright, this is actually a bit of a problem now, because HuK not only takes a large army supply lead, he's got the effectiveness in that supply lead as well. Those disruptors are so good. And the thing is, it's worth noting, HuK's not just getting lucky with these shots, he's timing these out. He's waiting until he sees blinks out of KiFirE, he's waiting until force fields go down, he's waiting until he can actually get good shots off. Using them to zone out as well. Kind of a bit of a bait there. Loses one disruptor, but kills about 5 stalkers for it, so kind of worth it. Mothership Core gonna get picked off. HuK, oh, blinks away! Loses some of his own stalkers. Like half a second off cooldown there for blink.
You can't argue that disruptors don't make the game fun. I mean, these are pretty important moments. But again, there actually has now not been cleanup on KiFirE's harassment opportunities. This proxy pylon, the warp prism still in the main too, funnily enough. So HuK is having some trouble with third base.
Ooh, that disruptor shot. Oh, tried to reach for the other disruptor. That would be fantastic if he hits it, but ooh, blinks out of it, loses nothing. Stalker's gonna take control. HuK now with a huge army supply lead, and even though there is harassment, oh, take the big disruptor shot comes out of nowhere.
That was pretty cool. But in the end of the day, HuK still has that army supply lead. He does lose his third nexus to just harassment, but still loses it. Oh, it's still a pretty even game.
It's pretty crap income for both players at the end of the day. I mean, we've got long distance mining going on now for HuK, and KiFirE really has that army supply just dipped so heavily.
Yeah, well, he's never been getting. It's always HuK with that really nice control, really showing what disruptors can be, you know, how they can be used correctly. But KiFirE is also, you know, 1 or 2 good disruptor shots away from evening that army supply back up.
I feel like one of the things that we're seeing out of this game too is like, and this is the difference between the two players. KiFirE is not a bad player, and I'm going to be far from calling him one, but it's the difference of good versus great, where we see HuK using all these units correctly and appropriately and exactly how you'd expect them to be used. KiFirE kind of just shooting out the random shots, trying to hope to get some hits. I mean, leaving disruptors exposed like this. Gonna get the warp prism as well, and the observer. Oh gosh. That's going to cost him some stalkers as well as he blinks forward. Archon also going to be forfeit here. And that's KiFirE's army. This game.
GG. But a very good game.
That looked like at a point. I actually thought KiFirE was going to win that for a moment. There was that one moment a few minutes ago, but yeah, HuK is the one who locks down the series 2-0. And now he advances on to fight against Semper in a TvP finals. One of these two, HuK or Semper, will be the ones to go through to Dreamhack, play in actual qualifiers and all that good stuff. Again, we got a mouse to give away. I'm going to play an ad for that so you guys can see what it looks like. It's actually not really an ad. It's more of just like a quick little show. But, yeah, we give away one of the Kova mice, which is kind of cool. So that'll be thrown up in about a couple series from now. We'll announce, obviously, when we open the raffle. And that's what you use Partoofs in chat to purchase your raffle tickets for. So thank you guys for watching. Here's that ad, and we'll see you guys in a few with the finals hopefully ready to play.